Welcome to Your Audience is Waiting, the show for founders and CEOs ready to grow their online presence, build authority, and lead their industry with confidence. I'm your host, Elisha Everett. So let's dive in. Let's be honest. Everyone is telling you to just show up online, post on Instagram. No, wait, LinkedIn. Actually, you should probably start a YouTube channel, right? It's exhausting. And let's not even talk about the 14 browser tabs you've got open trying to figure out what platform to start with, what your content pillars are, what time to post. I mean, it never ends. So, today I wanted to pull back the curtain and talk about what the smartest business owners are actually doing to build their online presence and how to figure out where you should start. Because what works for someone else might not work for you. And spoiler, that's not a bad thing. It's just strategy. The real flex in 2025, it's not being everywhere and it's not posting every day, and it certainly is not going viral, although it may feel like it at times. It's knowing exactly where your audience is and showing up there with purpose. Not everywhere, not all the time, and definitely not in a panic posting spiral at 11:37 p.m. while questioning your life choices. So the first question to ask isn't where should I be? It's actually where is my audience already spending time when they're looking for help with a problem I solve? That's your power move. Now, let's talk about the real reason most CEOs get stuck. And this is personal for me too. A lot of the CEOs I chat with and just have conversation with, they feel like they're behind. Like everyone else has this whole content thing figured out and they're just playing catch up. What's actually happening is this: you're stuck in platform paralysis. Yep. Platform paralysis. You're trying to do everything, be everywhere, look polished, and stay relevant all at the same time. It's too much and it's not strategic. What we really need is a guide to help us, number one, cut through the noise, number two, understand where our audience already is and build from there. And listen, I know platform paralysis personally because I've been there too. There was a season where I was trying to do all the things. I thought omnipresence meant I had to be everywhere at once. If I wasn't posting on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, writing an email newsletter, I wasn't doing enough. But what I didn't realize at the time was I was just running in overtime. I thought I was building momentum, but really I was moving backwards. And then it hit me one day when I looked at my calendar and thought, hmm, am I building a presence or am I just performing? And that's when I shifted. I realized I don't have to be everywhere. I just need to be everywhere that my audience actually is. And that's the freedom that I wanted to give you today. If your audience is on two platforms, great. Start with one and then work your way up to two. If they're on 7 platforms, same rule. Start small and scale smart. It doesn't mean you're falling behind. It means you're building systems as you go. And I know that you are more than familiar with building as you go. And once I started focusing on understanding the purpose of each platform and how to repurpose content intentionally, everything actually got easier. There was no more guessing, where to post. There was no more defaulting to the most comfortable platform instead of the one that actually serves my audience. So the solution, I built what I call my visibility ecosystem. At the center of it is something called your anchor content. And for me, that's this podcast. It's where my thoughts go first. It's how I think best in frameworks, in stories, in flow. And once I record this, I multiply it. So it will be a reel on Instagram, a carousel for LinkedIn and or Instagram, a blog post on my site, an email to my list, and maybe a Pinterest pin if we're feeling fancy, which I'm feeling fancy. So I will be having a Pinterest pin. And I would love to get into Pinterest with you guys a little bit later. We'll put a pin in it. Get it? But all of this is starting from one starting point. And that's how you build visibility without burnout. That's how the smartest CEOs are doing it. That's how the people who are growing their online presence and it feels like they are everywhere, this is how they're doing it. They're not everywhere all at once. They're just where you are because you are their target audience. And that's how you become one of them. Now, let's talk about platforms because I know some of y'all are still making decisions based on 3 years ago. And back then, it was all TikTok is for teens, Instagram is for influencers, and Facebook, well, that's where your aunt can, share chained messages and would like all of your pictures and make random posts. While that was kind of true, this is 2025 and things have shifted a bit. So, I wanted to talk to you about a platform breakdown so that you can know what is the purpose of each social platform that's out there. But please know that social is not the only way. I will always say that it is a tool in your tool belt. So, if you choose to reach for this tool, which I know that so many of you will, I wanted to take a moment to break down the platforms. Okay, TikTok. It's not just a Gen Z thing. Millennials and even Gen X are deep in there, especially in niches like entrepreneurship, wellness, and home improvement. It's algorithm first and it's for discovery. And TikTok shop, listen, that's basically Target. It's selling. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So if you have a physical product, TikTok shop actually might be a place you should consider selling. So next we'll move on to YouTube. YouTube is still the heavyweight champ. People go there to learn, they go to have a binge, they go there to buy things, and shorts are now a real competitor to TikTok and Reels. So, guys, YouTube is still alive. The next one would be Instagram. Aesthetic still matters, but authenticity wins now. People are tired of looking at perfectly curated content. They just want to see real people, especially in the age of AI. And, you know, Instagram is actually a hybrid. So it's part brand building and part real life storytelling. Reels, carousels, and DMs together, that's gold, okay? Because it's all building trust. And then we've got Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is the one that y'all might try to fight me on this one, but Pinterest is your visual Google. It's considered a search engine, not a social media platform. Fun fact if you didn't know. But people go there to plan, they go there to dream. Tell me you don't have some type of dream board. If you're into cars, tell me you do not have cars saved on your board. Or if you're trying to dream up a new bathroom or, decorate an office or something, I know you go to Pinterest to get inspiration. Why? Because you are going there to search for something, because you are planning for something, or you're trying to solve a problem. It is huge for longevity and traffic, which is why we're going to dive into it a little bit later. Facebook, hear me out, it's still alive. It's still relevant, especially for community building, Facebook groups, and ads. And if you're a service-based and local business, this is a huge advantage for you. So make sure you're on Facebook if you're not. Now we'll move on to X, which is formerly Twitter. Chaotic. Yes, we know that X is chaotic, but it is still powerful in niches like tech, finance, and real-time thought leadership. So if you have a thought that comes to mind, tweet about it, especially if you're in those niches. But you have to use it with intention or not at all. Honestly, that's for any platform, that's for anything that you choose. You have to be consistent and be intentional about it. So instead of asking, where should I post? Try asking, where does my audience go to learn, laugh, or buy? And what content do they trust there? And the other thing I would encourage you to ask is yourself, how do I enjoy delivering content? And once you find that overlap, then you found your sweet spot. Listen, you don't need to show up everywhere. You need to show up where your message fits best and where your people are already looking for you. Now, I'm going to say something you might not hear often enough in the land of Instagram marketing tips and viral trends. Social media is not the only way to grow online, okay? It's a tool, it's a good one, but it's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The smartest CEOs, they're not just posting, they're building what I call a visibility ecosystem, a network of touch points that create visibility, credibility, and momentum. So here's what the ecosystem can include. Podcasting. That's the place where deep trust and long form leadership will live. And yep, That's this right here. If you're here, that means you enjoy long form leadership conversations and, just things to think about while you're driving, or maybe you're cleaning the house or washing the car or mowing the lawn. You like to pop something on in your ears, and that's where you go to learn. The next place would be your website. That's your home base. That's where your content lives. Your lead magnets live here. Your blog posts, your offers, your business lives on your website. That's something you own, not a social media platform. Another option would be journals or publication. This would be for my thought leaders in niches or professional spaces where writing is crucial. And that's how people will find you, right? Especially people who are in Forbes magazine. I will challenge you to go look in Forbes and look up the people who are writing articles. See what business they have, see what type of platforms they live on, see what they have out there. That way you can really understand and see the value in journals and publications. Another part of that ecosystem will be conferences, summits, panels, which would be online or in person. When you speak, you lead. Now, you may be giving me a side eye when I said in person, because yes, people still do conferences in person, but how does that actually translate to your building your online presence, right? Well, you're being exposed to an audience who may not have seen you before. And at the end of every conference that you have, that is your opportunity to share how people can reach you. How can they stay in touch? How can they ask you a question? That's your opportunity to share your website, share your podcast, share your social media handle. That's where you share your lead magnet so that you can collect those email addresses and they will be on your newsletter, and you can continue to follow up with them because they are your target audience. And eventually, if you nurture them properly, they will in fact become a loyal paying customer. And then they'll move on and they'll rave about you to their friends. You see how one little in-person conference can actually turn into multiplication of your business. And last but not least, I mentioned it earlier, but email. That's the OG MVP. Okay, it's still the highest converting platform we've got. And I don't care what nobody says. I really want you to pay attention to how often you, as a CEO, you, as a business owner and leader in your industry, are you actually checking your email? Probably just as much as you are checking your text messages. Don't sleep on email. Now, this isn't about doing more, it's about doing things with intention. So your message keeps working even when you're offline, you're on vacation, or you're in your CEO flow. You don't have to worry about, let me record this video really quick because I'm walking through double doors and it looks like I'm working. No, your content is working for you. And that's our goal. We want our content to work for us. That's the importance of having a visibility ecosystem. So, I want to share with you how I'm doing this in real time, and I will continue to give you guys different updates on how things are working out for me as I build up my visibility ecosystem. But as I do that, I would just want to bring you along in the journey because we're on the same journey, right? We want to build our visibility online because wanting to reach our ideal target audience, but we can't do that if we're not showing up where they're already existing. So, like I said earlier, I chose podcasting as my anchor content because it's the format that lets me think big, teach clearly, and connect deeply. I love speaking. I know that's something I'm gifted in. And so I choose to do that through podcasting. Could I do a YouTube video? Sure. Is that something that's coming? Maybe soon. But right now, this is great. You start with one, right? You don't have to do all the things at the same time. But from this one episode, I will multiply it. So I'll have content for Reels for Instagram. I will have content for LinkedIn, whether that be an article or maybe I create a graphic, some type of carousel for LinkedIn. This gives me a blog post for SEO because when people Google me, I want them to be able to find my content, and that will take them to my website. An email for my list. So that's another touch point. Sometimes even a Pinterest post, right? I don't always have Pinterest posts, but it is a place that I am starting to dabble in a little bit. So I'll let you know how that goes. But look, I'm not reinventing the wheel every time I show up. I'm building a visibility ecosystem that reflects who I am, who I serve, and how I want to show up online. You have full control over how you show up online. You do not have to do it like, Sally down the street, and you don't have to do it like Brittany across the street. You can do it how you want to do it. That is the power of building your visibility ecosystem. And at the end of the day, that's what the smartest operators are doing. They're not chasing trends. They're building systems that allow their message to scale and still feel personal. I think a really great example of this would be Sarah Blakely. If you've ever followed Sarah Blakely online, I promise you, it feels like I know her. She's so personable, but I also know her business story. I know her business story because I've seen it in articles. You've heard her in different podcast interviews. You've seen her videos online. Like, she's everywhere, but everywhere intentionally. And people like me, an entrepreneur, I am her target audience. So she's existing in the places that I exist. I don't have Sarah Blakely type of marketing money right now. All right, not yet. And you may not, or flip side, you might. It's just a matter of how are you using that team. If you don't have a team yet, it's a matter of how are you building those systems to scale. But that's what I want for you too. I want us all to have a visibility ecosystem that works best for us, that can support our business goals, and that can support our dreams of reaching our target audience so that we can provide them with a solution to the problems that they're having, or just to enhance their life in some type of way. I mean, that's why we're all in business, right? So that we could do those things for people because we figured out something that works for us and it could work for them too. So, before we wrap up, let's recap it all because I know how easy it is to nod along, especially as you are probably dealing with the kids, or maybe while you're mowing the lawn and something happens, and then we forget about it all by dinner, right? So, here's what I want you to walk away with. Number one, don't start with the platform, start with your audience. Go where they're already spending time when they're searching for answers. Number two, you don't need to be everywhere, just strategic. Start with one platform that aligns with your strengths and your audience's habits. Number three, platforms have changed. What was true in 2022 is out. In 2025, platforms like TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube are powerhouses if you use them right. Number four, social media is only a part of the puzzle. A real online presence is an ecosystem: your website, your podcast, your email list, and more. Number five, the smartest CEOs aren't guessing, they're building systems. When you lead with intention and build with structure, your presence becomes magnetic and sustainable. Thank you so much for showing up and spending this time with me. It truly means the world. I hope today's episode reminded you that the work you're doing in your business matters. Your voice is powerful, your vision is needed, and your audience is already out there waiting to hear from you. If you want to keep the conversation going, come hang out with me over on Instagram at Alicia Everett. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your takeaways, or just cheer you on in whatever you're building. And if you haven't yet, would you do me a quick favor? Leave a review and rate the show. It helps me know what's resonating, what you're loving, and how I can keep delivering content that truly supports you. Until next time, keep showing up. Your audience is waiting.